welcome back. This week we're going to be doing just a sit down, chatty, catch up, vlog, get comfy, get a cup of tea. We're going to be going over January achievements and February's goals. And I don't want you to think it's one of the videos where it's completely unachievable and I want to make you feel bad about yourself, because I'm not. For me, at the end of 2025, when everyone was doing the achievement candle cake thing, I loved the videos so much, but I am terrible at remembering anything. It didn't happen yesterday. What I've started doing and what I'm going to do this year is at the end of every month, just reflect, see what I've done, ended up achieving anything that I said I was going to do, because I need to be doing stuff all the time. I need something going on all the time. I have a 2026 bingo card, and then every month I like to just have wee things, just so I'm keeping busy, just so I'm trying new things, and just because I like to really stress myself out. I have already posted on TikTok about my January achievements, and it was just like a shortened version, so my plan's to go over that in more detail, and then some of the things that I am hoping to achieve or I've maybe already started in February, and just give you a little overview of my hectic life. Let's get into it. January for me was a very busy month. It was a very good month, and I actually didn't realise until I sat down at the end of the month and was kind of going through everything that I thought, okay, we done a lot in the past 4 weeks. Bearing in mind as well, I work and travel, have done since I was a teenager, and January is the busiest time of the year for us. It's the busiest month of the year, it's constant. So the fact I managed to do anything while working, obviously we run on delusion, so it was inevitable. So the first thing that we did was launch the elopement planner. If you follow me on socials, you'll know what this is. If this is your first time seeing me, let me explain. In April 2024, me, my now husband, 2 kids, we decided just to run away and get married and not tell a soul. It was the best day of my life. We went away to Glencoe, we went up the night before, stayed overnight, kids never knew anything of it, completely oblivious to everything, never questioned a thing until we were putting kilts on them. Then we went and got married, we stayed again that night, went out for dinner, told family and friends, came back, announced it on social media, and it kicked off. I have spent coming up in 2 years helping people plan elopements, giving advice, giving more insights to what we did, how we went about planning, all the legalities of it, everything that goes into it. I got to a point last year where I was maybe getting a dozen messages a day. They were all pretty similar. It was pretty much how did I get started. And at that point I thought it would make my life so much easier if I could write this down somewhere and just be like, there you go. If you want to do it, this is how you do it. On the 5th of August last year, I decided to then create and produce this little digital planner. It can be completely edited by yourself. It talks you through A to Z of everything. But Scotland is one of the only places in the world where you can legally get married anywhere. You can get married at the side of the road if you wanted. And because it's so easy, it's very easy to think overcomplicate, and it's not. On the 2nd of January, we launched that, and I still can't believe how many people ordered it. I'm in the process, I said this last week and I've still not done it. I need to upload it onto Etsy. I need to sit down and figure out how to do that, because then it's easier for more people to find, because right now you can only find it if you go to the link in my bio, either on here or on Instagram or TikTok. So it's very niche to try and find. You need to have already been following and have an idea of what I'm talking about before you can go and find it. So I think if I can put it on Etsy, more people will find it. Happy days. I was on the 2nd of January, shortly after we started YouTube. And again, this has been something that I've put off for maybe 18 months, because imposter syndrome is a lovely thing, and I just thought, who do I think I am? What am I doing? Look, to me, TikTok is a silly little hobby. Posted on it every day for 2 years, and it's just very chilled, very relaxed. It's very, you can just post whatever you want and it's fine. YouTube to me is a big deal. So me starting YouTube took a lot of convincing myself that I can do it. I started that at the beginning as well, and if I'm being completely honest, I now prefer this to any other platform. I just like the idea of vlogging as I'm going about. I love sitting editing. I like videos like this where I can just sit down and chat because I like to gab. YouTube was shortly after. And amongst all that, I don't know if anyone follows me on socials on TikTok. I have my main one and my fitness one. So my fitness one last year was all about prepping for my photo shoot. And one of my biggest downfalls is sugar. I have a massive sweet tooth, it's an issue. So last year when we started PT, I thought I need to cut out sugar. And the biggest way I was consuming sugar was through tea and coffee. And I don't know if you know this about me, I'm very stubborn. So if I can't have sugar, I'm not gonna have tea and coffee. I'm my own worst enemy, honestly. So we cut out caffeine last year. We cut it out for almost 3 months. Middle to the end of June until the middle of September when we went to Rome. I have never felt better than when I don't have caffeine. In January I thought, why not do that again? I've got enough going on. So I've yet to have any caffeine this year. I've got Dilton juice and not a cup of tea. So there's pros and cons to that as well. So start with the cons, because that's more obvious. Even if you don't think you drink a lot of caffeine, which I didn't think I did, my biggest downfall was energy juice. It was Monster, a can of white Monster every day. In my head, that was a placebo that would get me through life. I didn't think I had that much caffeine Oh my days. When I tell you caffeine withdrawal, headaches / migraines are on another level, it is brutal. There's no release from it. You're basically going through full-blown withdrawals. You just need to ride it out. For me, it lasted like a week to a week and a half. It was not fun to be around. That's the bit that people don't get past. Even if you have a lot of caffeine, or even if you, just like me, my head's sore because I've not had caffeine, it's just because it's leaving your system. To be honest, that's the only con. I have started every now and again having a decaf sugar-free latte, which sounds like a waste of time, but it does the job for me because I actually just miss the taste of coffee. The pros of it for me far surpass any cons, and that's why I stick to it, and that's why I'm very stubborn in the sense of I'm going to do this. Energy. Sounds like it shouldn't work, but it does. If you do not have caffeine, for me, if I don't have caffeine in my body, there's no crash. I don't have a cup of coffee and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm knackered. Then you have another one, but that doesn't happen. I just coast. Today, for example, I got 2 hours sleep last night. That's a different thing all in itself. That's because my husband was working away and I don't sleep without him because I'm a big baby. But anyway, I'm fine. I feel no different, whereas I would usually get up in the morning and go, oh, I need a coffee. And then an hour later, I'd be like, I feel awful. I have so much more energy when I'm not having caffeine. People always message and say, I don't know how you do it. I think people forget I was pregnant twice when I worked in an international airport and my shift started at 4 AM. When I was pregnant, I had no caffeine. If I can do that, this is nothing. The other thing just behind it, I really suffer from hormonal migraines every month. As soon as ovulation's done, migraine. As soon as that crash happens, and it's awful because no migraine relief helps. It's not a standard migraine, it's a hormone imbalance, so you really can't do anything about it. But one of the biggest triggers of headaches and migraines is caffeine. Last month and this month, I've not had any hormonal migraines, and I am putting that down to having no caffeine. It's also saving me a fortune, let's be honest. That was hand in hand with just being back at the gym and just being fully back into it. In December, obviously it's busy, there's loads going on, there's Christmas shows and parties and nights out and places to be. I was still going to the gym, I was just nowhere near as committed in the thick of it. In January, I was fully launched back in 3-4 times a week, back to eating clean, no takeaways, said no sugar, so that was also like sauces and things like that with dinner. Everything was just stripped back. A full reset, which to be honest, I never do, because I think it's so cliche to do that in January and it usually really annoys me. But I thought, if I'm cutting out caffeine and sugar, if I'm doing everything else, why would I not do that? It makes no sense to me. The most exciting thing that happened right at the tail end of January, I signed my first 3-month brand deal of 2026 with a brand that I've worked with before. I love them so much, I use them every single day, and the fact that I can continue to be on retainer with them for the next 3 months is insane. The fact that social media allows things like this to happen, incredible. So that was how we ended January, and at that point I thought, I've done quite a lot this month, haven't we? And I look back and saw the list. So that's my January reflections in a nutshell. Moving on to February. So this is more February goals, things I want to achieve, things I'm looking forward to, and I've only got 4 things written down. So one of my main things for February, my biggest issue, and I know this, my toxic trait, is that I am so stubborn. It's honestly ridiculous. There's no need for it. I'm a Leo through and through. You cannot budge me. So if I say I'm going to do something, you can guarantee I'm going to do it. So why we've no caffeine? Because I've said I'm not having caffeine, so now my head's like, you said you were going to do that. So that's why I'm not doing it. My big thing for February, because I said again, I done this last year. Last January, I remember doing my goals for 2025. Top of the list, start running. Did I? Of course I never. Actually, have no interest in running. These things are very flippant in my head as well. It could be like I'm lying in bed one night and see one person running, I'm like, I could do that. The next day I'm buying running shoes and running a 5k. Like, it is very 0 to 100 to me. So one of my goals for February is to run. Backstory as well, I have hypermobility in my joints. Loosely translated, I'm bendy. Okay, my body does things it shouldn't do. Right. When I was younger, I had massive issues with my hips. The point where it was like dislocations and it was so uncomfy. I had to wear wraps and everything. It was awful. And I remember at that point being about 14, 15, and the doctor sat me down and saying about exercise, how exercise was going to help. That's also why I've trained since I was a teenager, because I need big ass quads that are going to hold the hips up. Anyway, I remember vividly them saying, you can't run because the impact when you're running is too much for that joint. I took that very literally, so I've avoided running at all costs. Now I think, because again, on the 2026 bingo card is run a 10k. Very ballsy for someone who can't run up the stairs, but it's on there, so we need to tick it off. When I'd posted on TikTok, I'd said, look, how do you get into running? Where do you start? Like, I don't have any of the gear. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what apps to use. Should I just go for it? Should I do a couch to 5k? And everybody on TikTok, to be fair, was amazing. They helped so much. There was a mix. A lot of people were like, just put your shoes on and go and run. Then the other half were like, no, follow a plan, because if you just go out and run, you might take it too far, you'll not enjoy it, you could injure yourself, and then you'll call it a day. So I downloaded the Runner app yesterday. Set up my wee plan for a 12-week plan to get me to run a 5k. I'm just back in for that run. As I said, we move very quickly, okay? There's no time for my brain to stop and be like, wait, do you want to do this? No, we've done it, we've committed, it's happening. So we've just went and done the run. So it was a 25-minute interval, like walk run type thing. So it was 3 minutes running, 2 minutes walking. I don't want to say that it was easy, because that makes me sound one of the people. I definitely could have ran longer. And my biggest issue is because I've never done it before, I don't know what my entry point is. I don't know what I'm starting with. I don't really know what I can do. That's why originally I thought I should just put trainers on and see how far I can run. Now I wish I'd just done that. So we ran a 3k in total. And by the end of it, I was like gutted that was it done. Because again, my issue is I'm not a cardio person. Me and cardio do not mix. But then I say that, but once a week I will go to the gym, go on the Stairmaster for an hour and love it. I do have a bit of stamina in me, I just don't enjoy it. HIIT classes, spin classes, no, keep it. I've done my 3k, and I actually texted my husband saying, guess what I've just done? Went for a nap. Rude. I was like, no, done my first run. Now last year he said, you should just go and run a 5k. And I was like, there's no chance I'll be able to do that. I texted him, obviously told him I found it easy, and he was like, yeah, I told you. Instantly annoyed me. The next run on my planner is Sunday. So if I go on Sunday and again I find it too easy, next week I'm just running a 5k, because that's how we operate. We think we can do these things. Running is first on the list. The next one is pull-ups. Again, on the 2026 bingo card, I want to do 10 unassisted pull-ups. Can I do an assisted pull-up just now? Barely. Starting fresh. One thing you'll come to learn about me is that I'm never really quite happy in my comfort zone. I like to be a beginner in pretty much everything. I like to just start out fresh, find my feet, try something new. Pull-ups is my next one, so I'm going to start that, and I know there's kind of steps that you can do because I've looked into it again for ages, because I want to be one of the girls that can just rep pull-ups, okay? I have a strong back, I lift a lot with my back, but I can't lift my body, so that's something we need to work on, and that's happening this month. So again, I will be documenting that on my fitness account, which is NCFitX on TikTok. In February as well, so there was chat of it in January, but I'm hoping it will actually be confirmed in February. I'm booking my next photo shoot. If you followed me last year, you know photo shoot prep is what kicked off the fitness account. Because the fitness account originally was my backup account for when my main account got hacked. I know, don't ask. So then we booked the photo shoot, and I thought, this is like prep for me turning 30. I want to turn 30 feeling my best. The photo shoot happened in December. I was a nervous wreck that day, to the point I was drinking Lucozade and vodka just to get me through. Bit of liquid courage. And after that, it was like, it was the best thing I've ever done. I don't know why I was building it up so much. That was amazing. Now I want to do it again. So the chat is that we're going to be doing a summer one, but it's not quite booked yet. And I really hope it comes to something and we actually go and do it, because I really now want to do a photo shoot again this year, because we just got the photos back yesterday, a couple of days ago, from the 2025 ones. I'll put some here. And I'm so proud of them, but now I'm like, well, that's my starting point. What can I look like in the summer? So that's what we're working with. That might come out. The next thing I've got, to me it's really exciting, but it's never going to go anywhere, so again, last year on the bingo card, this bingo card is my enemy. I don't know who I think, I'm a different person when I make this, okay? One thing that I ticked off because I'd made an ebook, but what I'd actually put on the bingo card was I wanted to write a kids book. I wanted to do something around our wedding. And at that point I thought, we'll do a kids book and then I can sell it, blah blah blah. No. Now I've started, again, I'll put a wee picture here of first draft of the cover, it's as far as we've got. I want to do a kids book, but just for my kids. It's just something that I can create myself. I've already written the story, I just need to do all the illustrations and stuff like that. Do you get why I'm burnt out all the time? Why am I talking about illustrations? I have a full-time job, I have 2 children, a marriage and a house to maintain. Illustrator. Anyway, we're going to be doing that this month. So it's called the Glencoe Surprise, because again, they had no clue. And the book's from their perspective, and it's just for them to read. So my plan is to do that throughout this month. That will just be like the wee kind of side thing that I'm just kind of dipping in and out of when I've got time to be an illustrator. I get that printed out and then they can get a copy of it, and it's just something that they can keep. But it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, because they talk about it all the time. They say it was the best day of their lives. It was so much fun. Best family adventure. So if I can get a wee book, it's all about them, it's got the pictures of them on it as cartoons, then I think they'll really like that. But that's as far as we've got just now. It seems like plenty. So let's just move that pen before we write anything else down. That is January and February wrapped. What is everyone else's goals for this week, this month, this year? Let me know, because I love to hear what everyone else is aiming for. Doesn't it be something insane? Okay, this is insanity. I'm well aware of that. I'll report back next month to see if any of this even happened. I mean, I can tick running off because I've done a run. Just going to edit that to 5k. And I'll update you next month. The rest of it, pull-ups, that'll be fun. That'll take a long time, so that'll be ongoing for a while. My January achievements, February goals. That's a good bit of you listening to me yapping, so apologies for keeping you this long. I will now let you go. If you are still watching, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe and follow along, and I will post next Sunday with a new vlog. Bye.